with Jennifer.
Hi.
Jennifer Holdsworth. I think the longest half an hour of my life was during night one of the debate when they went like a half an hour without asking Mayor Pete Buttigieg a question. I was
You're not
dying.
kidding. We were sweating in there. No, I mean, the mayor knew when to jump in and when not to, and there was a lot of crosstalk going on, so I think it's better that he just got his points across when he was called on.
I think he did a good job. So for insider viewers and readers, I'm with Jennifer Holdsworth. She is a Bergen County, New Jersey native. You've been with Pete from the very beginning. You helped put him on the map. You're one of his fundraisers and you're very close to the campaign. You're actually with his crew last night. You're here to help me handicap last night and maybe a little bit of a preview of tonight too. So last night, Pete was strong, he was steady, if unspectacular.
Yeah, you know, the way Pete presents himself, he always seems to be the adult in the room, right? And he tries to put forward policies that are above politics. You heard a lot about moderation, you heard about incrementalism, you heard about left, right, progressive, liberal. Pete just wants to do what's correct and what's going to move the country forward, and that's what he always tries to focus on. It's in the same way that he believes that we only need to call out President Trump when it's morally required for us to do so. He kind of feels the same way about responding to the other candidates. He's not interested in discrediting their plans. He thinks that if their plans sound really good for America, he'll support them too and build on them. So it's really more about making his case to the Democratic Party, making his case to the American people, and then worrying about what everybody says about him later.
Have you spoken to him? Because I think he did a very good job. And I'm biased. I'm a Hoosier, just like Mayor Pete is. And I watched, and I was sure he did great, but did he think he did great? Did you get a chance to?
I haven't spoken to him personally. I'll see him later. But I can't imagine that, you know, his team was anything other than very happy, because he consistently talked about things that are going to help Americans, but also things that Americans can understand. Progressive, liberals, conservative. In terms of healthcare, he supports Medicare for all who want it. There was a big consternation among the crowd last night about, we need Medicare for all right now. No, we need to make sure that people can keep their private health insurance. Well, how about we do both? And then let's lay out a plan that we're going to step everybody into, because Pete believes that if the public option is as good as we Democrats think it's going to be, then that competition is going to drive private health insurance out of the market.
Then people would go to it.
People would go to it. And look, you know, Congressman Ryan was right when he said the last thing that the Democratic Party wants to do is be the new repeal and replace party, because there are millions of union members across America who have benefits right now that they don't want to give up. We need to take that into consideration.
Was it so? I'm a fan of Bernie and Elizabeth Warren, but they did not seem ready for any kind of, you know, kickback. They did not seem ready for those questions.
You know, I don't think it's that they weren't ready for them. They have been hammering Medicare for all for a long time, and they truly believe in it. I think the part that's missing is, how are we going to get there, and, you know, what are we going to do for the folks that would be switched off of the health care that they have? These are really important questions that we want to answer. But, you know, one of the things, and me being a pundit myself, you know, one of the things that the pundits got really wrong about last night was that Bernie was going to go after Warren, and Warren was going to go after Bernie to try to fight for the progressive vote, and that's not what happened at all. Bernie and Warren were really on the same page, and it was very much them against the seemingly more moderate folks like Congressman Delaney and Congressman Ryan, Hickenlooper, and I don't think anybody on the stage had a bad idea. That's why I'm a Democrat. It's just a matter of degrees of how we're going to get it done for the American people.
I like Cory Booker, for example. I mean, he's our state senator. He's our United States senator. I like Joe Biden from next door neighbor. They're not my first choice, but, you know, I'm going to certainly be keeping an eye on them. I mean, I want them to both do well. I want Cory to do well.
Yeah.
Have you given any thought to tonight?
I have. I mean, look, I have undying affection for Vice President Biden. I have incredible respect and affection for Senator Cory Booker. I had the pleasure of serving as the coordinated director in 2014. When
I was on that race.
You were on that race.
Oh, we were. Oh my God, that's funny. You were my boss.
Yes, I was your boss. When he was running for re-election, and I think he represents New Jersey very proudly. I've said this before. If there's anybody who still has the opportunity to break out from this pack, it is Senator Booker. he is building out an absolute army in the early states, including in Iowa and New Hampshire and South Carolina. He is sucking up legislative endorsements, and that's because those folks really see something in Senator Booker. So I know that his team is discouraged right now. I know his campaign manager, Adisu. I worked for him on Hillary 2016. He is second to none. He's top notch. He then got Governor Gavin Newsom elected out in California.
Right.
And so I wouldn't sleep on Senator Booker. I also want him to do well. For me and for Team Pete, this is really less about opponents and more about competition, because at the end of the day, we're going to unite behind whoever the nominee is. I happen to think that Mayor Pete has the best chance of beating Donald Trump because he represents something so unbelievably different from everything that's entrenched in Washington. But at the end of the day, no matter who the nominee is, we're going to get behind them and we're going to try to beat Donald Trump.
Exactly. Jennifer Holdsworth, DC operative from New Jersey, here in Detroit, handicapping last night's race. A little preview for tonight. Thank you very much for spending a few minutes with us.
You're welcome. Miss you guys.
Exactly, we miss you. I know I can miss New Jersey too. It's only been 24 hours.